Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Pet Talk guys. Let's start our session on the IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs. Under that we have 8-9 topic that we will discuss one by one. We will start with our first news that is on the end note of the Lassina Hill dialogue, and after that what is the India's stand on the Russia and West, we will see in the comments. Okay, so it will be from the GS paper 2 IR mains perspective. Okay, after that we will study that there is the decision on the internet review. This reviewed on the internet ban. Was the committee, and after that Supreme Court has said please make it public. So we will see that it under the Anuradha Basheen case of 2020 as well, when there was the internet shutdown in the Jammu and Kashmir. So again, GS paper 2 polity perspective and mains specific. After that we will study this Papa detectors of the Aditya Alvan mission that we are for our solar history of the solar system. So GS paper 3 science and technology, mainly from the prelims perspective. Okay. After that we will study this change into the surrogacy rule, how we are going to allow for the gamete taken from the other than the biological parents. Okay, so this will be under the GS paper 2 governance area. After that, we will study this blocking of the social media. Again, this is associated with this internet ban. And yes, this is again, it is the hurdle, it is the inhibition on the freedom of speech and expression. Again, GS paper 2 polity perspective, and yes, mains specific. Then after that we will study that the growth paradigm that is based on the GDP. This is not the actual growth that reflect in the society. Even GDP is high, but if the people on the ground are not getting the benefit, what is the mean of this GDP? On this background we will study under the GS paper 3 economy, and again mains specific. After that we will study this NV4 Nordic Baltic countries. They represented in a single platform and in the unity to show that they have the common concern and yes cooperation trust against the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. This is under the context of that. So GS paper 2 IR perspective mains specific. After that we will study Sandesh Khali, why it is in the news, what is the major area. Sandesh Khali was also a epicenter, main point of the Tevaga movement. So we will study under its historical perspective. UPSC has asked question based on that as well. So mains perspective and as well as prelims perspective. Okay. After that we will study this the recruitment process of the police constable that is going in the UP. We will see that what is the condition of employment, unemployment, how the people take these jobs, how seriously. So we will study under this GS paper 3 unemployment section. So mains is specific. So this will be all about. Let's start with the front page. So this news is mostly based on the China, Russia and India relationship. Here it has mentioned that Western countries pushing Russia to lean on the China. So here it is showing that yes, Russia is being forced to go and make the access with the China, because Western country is closing all the options for the Russia, so that there could be the close relationship with the means alternative options should have been provided to the Russia. Otherwise, yes, there will be the shift of the Russia toward the China and the North Korea that we have seen. So it is not the only Russia responsible; it is the West also responsible as per this statement. This statement here, the External Affairs Minister have shown the India's stand against the China, that we will not let the China to be allowed to play the game, that yes, one country if they have to make the relation with the China, they will have to end the relationship with the other country. For example, here it is in the context of the India, that for example like if you are going to make the relation with the China, Taiwan, you cannot make relation with the us. This is the condition of the China. Again, the China replacing the Taiwan many a times put the India, that if you for the relation with the African countries, many a times the term is that you have to cooperate with us, not the India. So here it is given that yes, there should be the independent decision making, and yes, China for breaking agreement and changing its behavior at the border into the like the LAC, light a line of actual control into the Ladakh and the Arunachal Pradesh area. Okay. So here the mind game which will be played would be that just between the two of us, means two countries who are going to make the relation, their relationship with should be the independent. Here the veto of the China will not let be there, and yes, the confident enough to leverage the international system to create the best possible outcome. Okay. In the next paragraph, here in the last paragraph, yes, it is being said by the our external minister that it is the West that is not opening alternative door. They are closing the doors for the Russia, and that's why the shift is toward the China. Here it is given that what happened today with the Russia is that essentially a lot of doors have been shut to the Russia in the West, and that's why it is shifting toward not the clear-cut mention of the China, but yes, this Russia as a power with the enormous tradition of the statecraft. Here it has mentioned that Russia will not submit to the single relationship of overwhelming nature. It would go against the grain. Means it is not that it is going to follow whatever the China is telling. Simple thing. Everyone know that there is the huge gap between the China or the Russia or the any other power with the US. US is going to remain at the top for the long time. Even for the decade, 2 decades, there will be the US. There is the huge difference in the technological difference or the power of the military and different area gap will be there. So the competition will be always for the second position, and then for the second position who are going to compete, it is the Russia and the China. Okay, so there is no natural collaboration. They are always going for the competing. So this is all about from this news. Next news is with respect to the Gemini AI. So Gemini AI, this is from the Google, and there has been the opposition from the Indian side. Indian minister has said that such type of the if the, it's need to be regulated. Why? Simple thing. One of the user asked that from this AI that do you think that Mr. Modi had been the accused of the implementing the policy? Okay, the question from the user was that is Modi a fascist? Gemini AI responded that Mr. Modi has been accused of the implementing policy that some experts have the characterized as a fascist. So yes, by this reply, there has been a huge cry. Our Union Minister Chandrasekhar has criticized that such type of practices is not acceptable because this is violating the Rule 31B of the IT Rule 2021. Okay, if you are telling about the Modi ji, then yes, there is a lot of the violation of rule. They are going to this rule. This rules also mention that there should not be the harmful, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, pedophilic. Okay, all these things should not be there. Okay, so this is all about, you should just know that yes, there is the, what is the Gemini? Gemini is the this artificial intelligence that if you will ask, they will reply, they will be they will be chatting with you. Next news is with respect to the Indian joining the Russian military as the helper, but yes, many times many complaint is there that they have been pushed towards the war zone, fighting in the war zone. Okay, so yes, near about 100 of the Indians they have joined. Why? Because a lot of the offer is so high, 2 lakh of the salary on the monthly basis, and near about 50,000 bonus to find 5 lakh. So you can think that what is the condition, and people want to get out of their misery, their poverty, their condition, and that's why they want to face this threat as well. Simply you can compare that there is the Lakpati Bahini Yojana scheme of the central government that is making in 1 year 1 lakh. To earn 1 lakh, the time span is 12 month. Here they are giving the 2 lakh 50,000 in 1 month. Okay, so people are ready to do whatever insecurity is there. Next important news is with respect to the this internet ban in the Jammu and Kashmir and Supreme Court decision that it is asking that please public the decision by the panel that reviewed the internet ban. Okay, so government has this review decision, and the government is not making it public. So Supreme Court has asked, please make it public because this was the grave concern. We want to know that what was the condition that you put the ban for so long time. And already we know that Anuradha Vashin case of 2020 where the Supreme Court said that if you are going to put the ban on the internet, it should be for the specific period and it should not be the indefinite. There should be the time period. After that there should be the review, and you should remove this ban because internet has become a very crucial part of the life. They create the threat, but you should have the alternative way so that you can, without putting the ban on the internet, you can prevent such any of the security threat. Okay, for example, threat is from everything. For example, if there is the gas cylinder, that is the cooking gas cylinder, there is the threat they can be blast, but you cannot put ban on the use of this gas cylinder because this is also the crucial part. People cannot cook their food. Okay, so to prevent one harm, you cannot do other harm because the internet is important for the education. Now they has been used for the telemedicine. Lot of information people are getting from that, so that's why information this internet has become crucial part of the free press as well, freedom of speech and expression as well. All that Supreme Court brought this thing into the Anuradha Vashin case. Please remember this and you can use whenever such question is being asked. The same thing has been on the editorial page as well. Yes, here you can see that here it has given that state government and central government both are using this internet ban or as their tool. For example, Haryana and Rajasthan government recently put the ban on internet in the context of the farm protest, and union government also asked this acts to remove and block the account of many of the dissenting leaders and the farm leaders. So this is always going to curb the freedom of speech. Okay, so here it is given that Anuradha Bhashin case has said that there should be the proportionate test that whether this ban is going to harm much more as compared to the benefit. Okay, so beside that, here it has given that tutor that was this now has become the acts the it went to the Karnataka High Court with respect to the challenge that many of the demand from the central government to remove or the block the account that that was not reasonable, and this High Court of the Karnataka is still listening this, and there is the pending that is hearing is going on. Okay, recently, we have seen that previously this Twitter and the X was taking a stand on the removal or the banning of the account if the government was asking, but now they are not taking about this ground of the freedom of speech and expression. They are taking more the interest of its owner and the business, the money earning. And if the government is asking without challenging, they are going to ban and account ban and the removal of the post. We have not seen previously because when the Elon Musk he has owned this, after that such tendency is going on. Okay, the most important thing is the most this worrisome is that Karnataka High Court in one of the decisions said that okay, the government authority enjoy a wide berth of issuing content blocking orders. Okay, so here the generally the High Court, the courts are considered as they are going to protect the any of the violation of the fundamental right, but such thing that you are giving the more power to the government authority, they are made that they can enjoy a wide berth of issuing content blocking. Means here this gives a lot of power that they can block anything if the government is ordering. So this is not going well with the India's reputation as the free, open and democratic society. This is all about. So you should be careful about whenever you are going to talk about the freedom of press, freedom of speech. Okay, all these things you can use. Okay. Next important news. Next important news is this Medaram Jatra. This is the tribal festival. You all know already. This is in the news. Please remember that this is from the tribal community in the Telangana and Mullugu district. Okay, and this is in the Mullugu district and at the Jampanna Vagu. This is the river. This is a tributary of the Godavari river, and here in this festival, generally the people offer the jaggery equal weight of their weight to the deity, and the name of the deity is Samakka and Sarlamba. Okay, Sarlamma. Okay, so please remember all these things. Now this has become the largest tribal religious congregation in the country. Next important news is with respect to the ISRO. This is from the Adit L1 mission. There was the Papa detector, and this Papa detects the solar wind impact on the coronal mass ejection. So what is the Papa? This is the plasma analyzer package for the Aditya. So this is known as the Papa, and it has the two sensor. Okay, the one sensor that is able to detect the electrons in the energy range of the 10 electrovolt to the 3 kilo electrovolt. Okay, and the solar wind ion composition analyzer, this is known as the Swikar, and this is the sweep. Okay, so please remember these both of the sensor, and they are able to detect the electrons and the ions, and by that it can know that what is the impact of the coronal mass ejection, that is on the surface of the corona of the sun surface. One of the layers of the sun is known as the corona. Please remember, and it advanced sensor have the successfully detected the impact of the CM is coronal mass ejection. Okay, here this sensor can also equipped with the to measure the direction of arrival of the solar wind particle. Okay, so you should know what is the Papa, what it has the sensor, and how it is going to help the study of the solar surface on the. Next, we are going to study the change into this surrogacy rules. Under that, we are going to allow this couple to use the donor's gamete. Okay. Previously, it was put the compulsion that only the couple's gamete will be used, not the outside, and it was making this surrogacy law very illogical, because without, if there is the issue with the couple only, they are going for the, generally this is the case, that if they are going means they have the issue and they need to take the donor's gamete. One of them are not able to reproduce. Something is the something issue with the fertility is faced by this couple. Only they are going for this surrogacy thing. And if you will ban, they cannot take the donor's gamete. How can there will be the surrogacy? Okay, so this has been removed. Besides that, there is they are going to allow this for the single woman as well. Single woman that can take. The donors sperm to avail the surrogacy procedure. Here on that, the question from the Supreme Court to the government is that, do you have law the legitimacy of the child that is going to take birth from the single mother? Because there was the illegitimate child, legitimate child concept was there. Now we have seen that this illegitimate child concept has been diluting, and recently we saw this was very much diluted by this Uniform Civil Code that was from the Uttarakhand as well. Okay, so the question from the Supreme Court is that if there is the no marriage and the children are born from the single woman, can there is the law that gives them legitimacy? Okay, because generally there is always the name of the father. Whenever you fill up the form as well, they ask the name of father with a star, because you have to fill it in the compulsory manner. Okay, so the answer of the additional Solicitor General that was representing the government was that there was no concept. Now there is no concept of illegitimate child, and it is no more existing. This is the next important news that we are going to take is with respect to the changing the growth paradigm. This is from the editorial, and this is article in the detailed manner that what is the what is the model of the growth? Mostly it is depend upon the GDP. The GDP is higher, it shows that the country is the better in the economy. But this is the not truth, because the despite the GDP, there could be the not well-being of the people. Well, people can suffer. For example, take the example of a, just imagine there is the area where the 10 people are living, and out of 10 people, think that there is the this people. This is the 10 people are living, 10 people totally living. One people is very rich, one people, and 10 are the very poor. Okay. So consider that this all total economy of this is the 100 rupees. Okay. And out of this 100 rupees, it can be rupees, 91 rupees is with this, and 111 rupees is with this 9 people. Okay. There is the growth. This person, now the total economy is 100, now the total economy become 500 rupees. Out of this 500 rupees, this rich person earn lot, and its economy, its earning become 490 82 rupees. Okay, 82 rupees, and this 9 have the 18 rupees, 2 rupees each. 2 rupees each. Now the 1 to 2, there is the shift of the 2 times. There is the shift in the economy as well. And this person has become so rich, the economy has become the 5 times from the initial. But if the distribution is not sufficient for these people, the overall development of this area is not that much, because if the living standard, good living standard need the 10 rupees, they are living in the poverty zone. Despite the 5 times 5, it's showing that 500. For normal, if this word, the good economy is considered wherever there is the 50 rupees, those who are earning, the country that is earning 50 rupees is considered developed or the good economy. But despite this 50 rupees, this is not with these people, this all money is with one person, and this rest 9 people is not living in the good condition. This, so the despite the GDP is growing, there is the huge GDP. This is the condition with the India. India shows a very large GDP, but still the people at the grassroots level, they don't have the money. Most money is concentrated of with the few people. You can think just one businessman in India, that single person has the 5% of the Indian economy. Are you concerned if the Indian economy is had the 100 rupees, 5 rupees is for the just one person, and remaining near about 130 crore people have the remaining. Okay, so this is not a good reflection, because this is not with this government that inequality is prevailing. The inequality is prevailing from the this 1991 liberalization, and even the growth rate for the most of the government. For example, it has compared the previous government of the 10 years, UPA 10 years from the 2000 till 2014, and yes, after the recent government under the Prime Minister Modi, the growth rate has been 7.2, 7.2. So the thing is that growth rate has been very high, but the distribution of this growth is not that much equitable. Equitable means with the that is going to the each people at the grassroots level. The model of the world economy has been remained the same. That is the model economy is, as for the first we will go, most of the population they will engage in the agriculture. After that they will shift to the industry, and after that they will go for the services. This is considered good. Okay, even this is considered good if the people are moving from the rural to the urban area, means people are getting developed. But this is the consumeristic type of the development. And one of the leading this environmentalist has written that there is the 4 to 5 thing around that the world economy is moving around. This is the steel, concrete, plastic, and the food. This is the basic thing around that economy of the world is moving around, and this is impacting not the climate but also the equitability within the people. Okay, so here it has given that this steel and concrete mostly used for the habitation and the transportation, road, buildings, all thing is made up of this steel and concrete. And beside that, the mobile machinery like the trains and vehicles, all this is made up of this steel. Okay. Other thing is the plastic that is used into the lot of area like the food packaging, also in the hospital, sanitation, all this is used. Plastic is used in all this area. Okay. So what is the major thing? Even if you go for this fossil fuel, the crude oil that is used in the manufacturing of the plastic and plastic product. Okay, so they have their own capability, they have their own features, because of that they are used. And we have seen that continuous increase in the fossil fuel based solution, and that has become integral part of everything, even the food production and distribution system in the last century. We have seen that in the last 100 years, the population has increased from the 2 billion to the 8 billion, and now the 2 billion, India itself has near about 1.5 billion. What was the world population 100 years back? Okay, so you can see that, and here this fertilizer are produced from the fossil fuel based feedback. Okay, so farm machinery is made up of the steel and run on the fossil fuel. So we see that this use of this four things: this steel, concrete, plastic, food, and the crude oil. Okay, so this is that, and crude oil will be used into the making of the plastic as well as transportation and other thing. And that's why even in the agriculture, this use of the fossil fuel is very on the large scale. Okay, so what is we needed if we want a solution? We want the solution, then we have to go back to the rural area. We have to start the organic farming, where the use of this chemical-based fertilizers, insecticide, pesticide, and other things reduce even the need of this transportation. So it is like the those quotations from the, you must have been here, the Russo, he was talking about to the moving back to the our root, the pre-industrial, civilized society. So thing is talking. So do we need for India? He is taking, the writer is taking that it is possible, because for India we have still a rural based society. Means we most of our population living in the rural area and the villages. For example, 64% of the population is still in India living in the rural area. If you compare with the China, in the China 36%, for the USA it is 17%. So it is very easy for India to shift to the village-based economy, the same as the Gandhiji was about to used to tell, that the self-sufficient village economy. So he is also talking. So are we ready for this? So here it is taking that we should not copy with the Western nation, or as we have the advantage of the populated, means more population in the village area, and that's why we can give a model to the Western society. So this is all about, you can write a philosophical essay whenever it comes on this issue. Okay. Next news is with respect to the international relation, and again from the Raisina dialogue. In this, Nordic and Baltic countries, there is the 5 Nordic countries and 3 Baltic countries. They are based on the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. I will show you the figure and the map. So this is on their external affair minister of the foreign affairs. In the combined, they have wrote this article, and this is nothing but just showing that we are united now, and in the context of this unity is under the Russian invasion to the Ukraine. Okay, so let's see the basics about what these countries, where they are presented. So the 8 Nordic countries, 5 is the Nordic country, and 3 are the Baltic countries. The Baltic Sea, you can see here is the Baltic Sea. These 3, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they are the Baltic countries, because they are just eastern side of the Baltic Sea, and they share the maritime border with the Baltic Sea. And this Nordic countries, the Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Finland, 3, 4, and 1 is the Denmark. So please remember, this 5 is the Nordic Sea, and the North Sea is here. North Sea, Baltic Sea. Okay. very much you should remember that this is the Russia. You can see that the Russia is very much inside the Europe as well. Here, this is the Russia. Okay, and Russia is also here making the its boundary with the Black Sea. Okay, so please remember this is Ukraine, this is the Crimea, and here it is the Caspian Sea. So Russia has a huge territorial extent that is from the uh, Asia to the Europe, and in the deep Europe, you should not be here. It is reaching very close to the here, and by that they can reach to the United Kingdom as well, Germany, Poland, very close to that. This is the Russia, and what is known as this area is known as okay Kaliningrad. Kaliningrad is the name of this area. Okay, so they are writing this in a very much unity, that they are showing that yes, we are in unity. We have to show that there is the common threat onto the this sea route. There is the common threat for the stability of the stability across the world, and also there is the common threat to protecting the rule-based international system. So this is talking, and in the context here, they have criticized all here the Russian invasion on the Ukraine. But as you saw that the other side is very close to all these countries. If the Ukraine is in the threat is also in this countries. Okay, these countries have the very much shared history, social and economic, cultural side, because we know that they are associated with the Viking Age. Viking Age was like the seafarer. They were attacking. They were making the colony, and these all the seafarers were from the Nordic countries. Okay. So yes, they have the quality. Here it has mentioned that they are the based on the innovation, resource, technology. They are the advanced country, and they have the welfare state. Welfare state, but the people, the government of this country do lot of things for their people in the education, in the health, in the different need services for the living a good life. So the government provide lot of welfare measures like the subsidies and other help and provisions. Okay, so here beside that they are the innovation driven, and they are fully integrated into the world largest single market area, European Union. Okay, so they are the part of European Union as well, and they are mainly these are the very much high on the indicators of the democracy and human rights. They respect a lot of, despite they have the past of the violation, because the Viking age is totally based on the lawlessness, and after the France and the UK curbed this lawlessness, but they are very much a good boy of the world now. Okay, so green transition, maritime, health, intellectual property, right? So all these area where India can cooperate and collaborate with these countries. In this paragraph, they are talking about the how there is the threat into the global commons, and they are talking about the increased relevance of the Indo-Pacific and how the Indo-Pacific is also into the threat. Okay, Russian invasion to the Ukraine has been criticized in the latter paragraph. Okay, so here it is criticism for the how this Ukraine president Vladimir Zelensky is also trying to bring the peace, but the Russia is violating all this is mentioned here. And yes, they are going to support this Ukraine in to bring the peace. Okay, peace formula meeting, and this was the first time this NB8 countries going outside the Europe, and this is the India. You should remember this. This gives the special privilege to the India. Okay, so this is all about. You should just know about the basics about this. So let's attempt few of the question based on all this topic that we have covered till now. So let's start with first question. You have to answer this in the comment box, and we will discuss all this question in our Furious 5 question. Okay, let's start first question. Consider following statement. First, it has solar wind electron energy probe sensors to measure the electrons in the energy range 10 eV to the 3 keV. Okay. Second, it has solar wind ion composition analyzer sensors to measure ions in the energy range 100 eV to the 25 keV. Okay. It is equipped to measure the direction of arrival of solar wind particle. How many of the above statements are correct with reference to the plasma analyzer package for the Aditya Papa payload aboard on the Aditya L1? Okay. Only one, only two, all the three, none. Please answer. Next question. Anuradha Bhasin versus Union of India case reaffirmed the fundamental rights to freedom of speech and expression, privacy, right to life and dignity, freedom of movement. Please answer. Next question, question number 3. Consider the following statement regarding the acting Chief Justice of India. Acting Chief Justice is always senior most judge of the Supreme Court. Acting Chief Justice hold office until a permanent Chief Justice appointed. Which of the statement given above is are correct? One, only two, only both, one and two, neither one, neither two. Next question. Consider the following country: Finland, Ireland, Sweden, Estonia. How many of the above countries are Nordic countries? Only one, only two, only three, all the four. Next question. Consider the following countries: Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, Denmark. How many of the above countries are the Baltic countries? Only one, only two, only three, all the four. Please answer. Next question, consider the following seas: Baltic Sea, Caspian Sea, Japan Sea, Black Sea. How many of the above makes maritime boundary with the Russia? Only one, only two, only three, all the four. Please answer. Next important relevant news is from the Sandesh Khali that is in the news. There is a lot of hue and cry with respect to the misuse of power by the state machinery, particularly the some of the leaders or local leaders that have been exploited the local people. The power they have grabbed and they are misusing to grabbing the land of the people and even attacking the honor of the women. So we have seen that many of the this leader from this Trinamool Congress of the Mamata Banerjee is accused of they were misusing their power and they were graving the land. Okay, so what is you should know that that has become a center for the opposition of the Trinamool Congress government. Okay, so here you should know that there is the culture of Bherish. This is known as the shallow fish pond in this area. And one of the most important thing you should know is that this Sandesh Khali was the center of the Tevhaga movement. This is for the relevance for our, and this movement was between 1946 to 47, and it was on the ground of the distribution of the output of the crop. So what is this? What was the issue of the Tevhaga movement? Tevhaga movement, there was the two stakeholders. One was the sharecroppers and other was the joteda, the landlord. Okay, landlords, and second were the sharecroppers. Sharecroppers. Okay, so the land was of the landlords. Okay, so this is the land of the landlords, and sharecroppers take on the lease and they produce, and after that if there is the 100 quintal of the product, half is divided between the landlord and the sharecroppers. 50 quintal goes to the landlord and 50 quintal to the this sharecroppers. Okay, so they are known as the Bargadas as well. The demand was that there was so many famine and other things, they were impacted and they were rich, thus they have the land, all the hard work they have to do, but the half of the share going to this. So they oppose that this should not be there. One third should be given to the landlord. They are known as the Jotedas as well. Jotedas, and two-thirds would be given to this was the movement based on that. It means that if there is the 100 quintal, 33.33 should go to the landlord and 66.66 should be go to this sharecroppers. In the end, there was the Act, Bargardar Act, that brought the some of the right of this Tebhaga, Bargadas. So this is all about, you should know this Tebhaga movement, and it was being asked by the UPSC as well. So there is the question. Please attempt the question. This was asked into the 2014. Okay. So the demand for the Tebhaga Pigeon movement in the Bengal was for a reduction of the share of the land from the one half to the crop of the one third. Okay. The grant of ownership of the land pigeons as they were actually cultivators of the land, uprooting of the Jamidari system and end of the serfdom, writing of all pigeons dead. So you should know. Please answer into the comment box. We will discuss into the our furious 5 question. Last topic that we will take is with respect to the recruitment process for the constable, police constable, that is going into the UP. Okay, so you should know that this constable recruitment examination, there is the 48 lakh aspirant and just for the 60,000 post. Okay, and why they are going for this is the government job and promise for the security and the social capital. Security means job security. It is not like in the private job, whatever amount you get as the salary, there is the you are on the mercy of the owner. Whenever get any of the thing, next day they can remove, because the law is not followed in India. There is no rule of the compensation. They will just fire you. Just next day you will get the mail, will get the letter that you are fired. Nothing, anything else. You are not going to get anything. Okay, this is the reality. And they have a lot of power. If you will go the court, they will hire the expensive lawyer. You will not going to fight with this private owners. So but in the government job it is very difficult process, and yes, you have the job security. You will be given the explanation if you are making the fault. You will be given a chance to explain if you are making the some fault. You will be not fired. Firing will be very difficult. Okay, so that's why people decide that the social capital, there is the respect for the government job. Okay, and there is no respect for the private job. Whatever you are earning there, that doesn't matter because you are doing in the private area. So this is the condition, and that's why we saw that 48 lakh aspirant. You know, 48 lakh. 48 lakh is the population of the Mongolia, near about the 50 lakh, something like that. And do you know what is the area of the Mongolia? Let me show you. This is the Mongolia, and the population of Mongolia is around 50 lakh. Okay, so this is the condition. The countries, what is the population? The people from a post they are going to join, and a lot of like the one of the aspirants is here explaining that what is the condition. His family is working the farm labor. They don't have the a, a regular income source, and that's why he want to come out of all this thing. That distort imagine the re-examination may called. I was sure of clearing the examination. I need job. This family can not survive otherwise. Okay, this is the condition. Who is recruiting this? Is being recruited by the Uttar Pradesh Police Recruitment and Promotion Board. This is the recruitment agency, and there was the 150 question, and yes, each question was for the 2 marks. There was the fourth section. So this is the basics. You don't need to go on to that. So but just you need to know what is the condition of employment. What is the this is giving just 22,000. The salary under this is just uh, 22,000 something, 21,700, and some additional benefit like the health care will be free. And for that there was the demand of the some of the those agent who were going to help into the this get selected, that they are going to ask near about the 10 to 12 lakh that people are ready to pay for this job. Means the job of just 20,000 around, and the people are ready to give the bribe of 10 to 12 lakh. And you can imagine what will be the condition when the people giving 10 to 12 lakh. What will be the condition? How can they be prevented from the involved into the corruption and other thing? How they will pay this 10 to 12 lakh if they are earning just 20 lakh? And normally, what is the monthly expenditure if you are living in normal life? This is 15,000, 20,000 in a normal city. In Delhi, you cannot imagine the expenditure here. Okay, so even in the UP area, this is 20,000 is just sufficient to live a life, and if they are going to take 10-20 lakh to give this to the person who are going agents, what will be the condition? So you can mention all these points whenever you are going to write for your answer with respect to the employment, unemployment in India. So here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.